In this week's episode of the Stockscores Market Minutes, I'm going to show you how I search for stocks to buy. And we're going to focus this time on longer term trades, not day trades or swing trades, although I will cover a hot day trade from Friday's trading at the end of the video, so stick around for that. But let's jump into this week's topic, which is all about how to find stocks to buy. And I want to present some important concepts first. We're looking for stocks that have abnormal trading activity. I have found, having looked at thousands and thousands of stocks over the last 35 years, that the stocks that do the best start their market-beating trends with abnormal price movement and abnormal volume. Now, once we have that, then we have to assess the chart. I'm going to show you a little drawing in a moment here that exemplifies these things. We want to determine whether the stock has optimism or pessimism. That's very easy to do. I'll show you in a moment. We're going to look for whether the stock is breaking through resistance or remains under resistance. Is it breaking from low volatility? And then what is the liquidity? How actively is the stock traded? We want to be very fussy. There are thousands and thousands of stocks out there. We don't have to buy things that might work. We're trying to buy things that will probably work. All right, so let's draw a little picture. This is how a trend typically reverses. So let's say you have a stock that's in a downward trend, and it will break the downward trend, build a rising bottom, and then break up from a rising bottom. Once it does that, that's your opportunity to buy, number one. And then it'll go into this cycle of moving up, pullback, break of pullback. That's opportunity number two. And so anytime the stock runs away, let it go. Don't chase it. Wait for it to pull back, break the pullback. That will be opportunity number three. Now, the strategy we're going to look for today, I call a bottom fishing pattern, and that's this one right here. The stock breaks the downward trend, builds a rising bottom, and then breaks up from a rising bottom. Now, optimism and pessimism. So if the tops are falling, that's pessimism. If the bottoms start to rise, that's optimism. So that's why we're waiting for that rising bottom. Then we can look for resistance, which is a ceiling price. This is the high point here that the stock has to break through. The reason that that is important is a breakthrough resistance represents the buyers finding some information, news releases, fundamental information that justifies paying a higher price. So that's why we want to have stocks that break through resistance. However, we don't want to buy stocks that break through resistance after being volatile in price. So if we go back to my picture, you can see that price was going sideways here. That means volatility is low. Volatility is high here. So if we had a breakout there, that's not a buy. We want to maybe buy the break of the pullback, but not the breakout from volatility. We want to buy the breakout from low volatility once the mood changes from pessimism, falling tops, to optimism, rising bottoms. Now, let's jump into the Stockscores website and actually do this. So this is my website, stockscores.com. You can register for free here. And if you want to get my free weekly newsletter, click on this link here and you can set yourself up for that. I'm going to jump into a member tool, which is called the Market Scan. And we're going to select the bottom fishing strategy, and we're going to apply it to the US market. Now, in the interest of not spending too much time doing these, let's just look for opportunities under $10, but maybe more than 50 cents. All right, so in other words, low price stocks, you could do this on any type of stock that you like. And then I'm going to go down and hit the Run Market Scan button. And it found 15 stocks that meet those criteria. Now I can view them 10 to a page. If I click on Go, you will see here all these little mini charts. But in the interest of making it a little bit easier to follow, I'm going to go to the slideshow viewer. And now we get a little bigger chart. And now you can see what we talked about earlier in the video. We switch from falling tops to rising bottoms. So the trend is moving from pessimism to optimism. Now we're going sideways. We are compressing volatility. It's getting tighter and tighter. And all we need right now is a breakout through 125. So this is a stock that you can watch over the next week or days for a breakout through that 125 level, because that would be an important chart pattern event. Let's look at the next one. All right, similar pattern here. Pessimism, falling tops. We never want to buy stocks that have pessimism. And when they do have pessimism, their stock score, the green line, will be below 50 typically. Now that it's starting to build rising bottoms, you can see the stock scores are starting to move up because they look for optimism building. So this one needs to break through 220 a share, and hopefully it goes a little bit quiet and then breaks, so it's breaking from low volatility from optimism. Another one. There you can see pessimism, sellers in control, now buyers taking control. We're switching to optimism. We have resistance right here, and on Friday it just started to tickle through that resistance with more volume than usual. Notice the stock scores were pretty negative as the stock was doing poorly there, and now they're starting to get up above 60. I like the stock score for this strategy anyway to be above 60. Not all strategies, but this one. All right, let's go through them a little quicker. This one I think is too much volatility. It's not sideways trading, it's trending up basically. So let's say that that is maybe a good hold, but not a stock I want to buy. This one also too much volatility. But notice here, we switched from pessimism to optimism, and then we broke out through resistance after breaking the pessimism, and that started this. It took a while, it took about a month, and now the stock's starting to gather momentum. It will probably move up to this ceiling price right here. This is the old highs. That's now new resistance. Wouldn't buy it now, but it's a hold. All right, this one, pretty good pattern. You can see we've built some rising bottoms, and we are testing that resistance. If we can just break a little higher, that one would be worth considering. So you see the process, pretty simple. This stock here, look at the big spike in volume, abnormal price action, breaking the downward trend line from a rising bottom. That one looks pretty good. Now I do this every day looking for stocks to buy, and this is how I find position trades and swing trades. We'll get into day trades later in the video, but hopefully you get the idea just how wonderful the tool this is. We can zip through charts really quickly. You can learn more about being a member at Stockscores.com. Now, let's get into our normal market analysis, and we're going to stay in Stockscores, but I'm going to just start by bringing up the chart of the S&P 500. SPY is the symbol. You can see that the trend is up. The buyers are in control, what we talked about earlier, so that's optimism. We had resistance here, and we're just breaking through it. Now, the problem is we're not breaking through from low volatility. So that is a bit of a weakness. All right, we're not breaking from low volatility. It's a good upward trending market, but I think that we'll probably see a pullback in the short term. Let's take a look now at the NASDAQ 100. QQQ is the symbol. Similar situation there, except we did have a little stall here when we got to resistance. We stalled, and then earlier this past week we broke out. So this market looks pretty bullish right now. If we go to the 1 month intraday chart, you can see that optimism is in place because we have rising bottoms. See that? So it's a market that's decent, although it's been a little quiet. It is a decent looking market. Let's take a look at IWM, which is the small cap sector. And there you see that reversal pattern. We had falling tops. We broke the cycle of falling tops when we broke the downward trend line right there. And now we're in this cycle of rising bottoms. This should continue higher in the near term. As long as this cycle of rising bottoms, this upward trend line, stays intact, it's a decent looking market. How about the Canadian market? T.XIU is the symbol. You can see the Canadian market is also at all-time highs, much like the US markets are, other than the small caps. So this is a good bullish market, remains a hold. Gold, let's take a look at GLD. A little bit of weakness coming in, and here's my concern. Here's your upward trend line, and you see that we've broken it. This is the daily chart. We hit resistance once, twice, 3 times, couldn't break through, and now we're breaking down. It's not terrible yet. I'll be a little more worried if it starts to move through this floor price there. If we look at the 3-year weekly chart, you can see that this trend has gone parabolic, which means it curves. It made what I call a bursting bubble candle right there. That's when I started to be a little bit concerned about gold being overextended, and now we're breaking that parabolic trend. It's not terrible yet. As I said, if we start to move down through 290, I would get defensive with gold and gold stocks. How about, let's take a look at silver. Sometimes people are asking me about silver, so I'll take a look at that here. Let's go to the 3-year chart. And you can see that silver has broken through resistance from sideways trading, from optimism. This actually looks better than gold. I think it's more likely to move higher than lower. All right, moving along to currencies now. We'll take a look at actually, let's do oil first. USO has had a lot of volatility with all the goings on in the Middle East. We hit resistance right there. You'll recall last week I said it was likely to get stuck there. Sure enough, sharp sell-off this week. It's still got optimism, but a lot of volatility, which shows a lot of uncertainty, makes it harder to predict. All right, now let's get into currencies. US dollar, bearish in a downward trend, not looking very good. How about Bitcoin? Generally in a bullish trend because the bottoms are rising. At resistance, it needs to break out through this level. If it instead gets rejected and moves through this floor price, that would be negative. But for now, it's still a relatively optimistic chart. And then we'll take a look at TLT, which is the bond market, and it's starting to get a little better. Lots of hope that the US Fed will lower interest rates, and the bond market starting to price that in a little bit, which is supportive for the broader range of stocks. So overall, not too bad there in the short term, but the long-term picture is still pretty bad. So my ratings then, US large cap, NASDAQ, all bullish. US small cap, short-term bullish, but still long-term neutral. Canadian stocks bullish on both time frames. Gold and oil neutral on both time frames. US dollar bearish. Bitcoin short-term neutral. It's been going sideways, but still long-term bullish. And bonds neutral on both time frames. Now, earlier in the video, I said we were going to look at a day trade of the week, and we can see some of these concepts that I talked about earlier in the video show up here as well. So here's the day trade. This is a 1-minute chart. A little hard to see that, but this is a 1-minute chart. This is Friday trading. Here you have a stock that's very boring, comes alive with abnormal activity, pulls back, builds a rising bottom, and breaks up from a rising bottom right there. That is a strategy I use and I teach called the early riser strategy. You'll see there's a little blue dot there. That's an important part. You'll see these pink and yellow dots. Those are our action candle indicators. You can see volume became very abnormal. That's why we're watching the stock. So our entry point was right here. And the stock ran very nicely, got up to 6 times risk. So this is our risk, the difference between this price and this price. It's how we manage our risk. So if you took $100 of risk, that would be your risk right there, down to that floor. As it happened, it went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times risk. Exit signal right there at about 4.5 times risk. So for every $100 risked, this trade made $450. If you risk 1,000, it made $4,500. Very nice trade in a relatively, actually decent market on Friday. It was pretty good for day trading, although longer term trading a little bit quieter. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this week's Stockscores Market Minutes. If so, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, trade well.